So my buddy Diego says he wants to be like a deep space explorer and like have some kind of space odyssey. Yeah, Prometheus just makes me want to go to my desk job tomorrow. I'm totally fine not being a deep space explorer. Hey there, welcome to the Sunday Scaries. I'm your host Mike, and we're going to be talking about the film Prometheus, and we are counting down to the movie Alien Romulus. We got about a month here until it comes out, so I got this one, and then I got Alien Covenant, and then we're done with this whole series that we're reviewing leading up to Alien Romulus. And then once that film comes out, I'm gonna go watch it. I'll do a ranking video, and I'll just let you know what I think of it. But before we get there, we got to hop into the very kind of controversial film Prometheus. And there will be spoilers in this. I want to do deep dive, but this film has a different tone than really any of the other Alien films. This is completely a space discovery film, a human creation film, answering the question, where do we come from? This film challenges faith and keeping your faith even when you have like evidence that contradicts what you believe in, and still choosing to believe in your views. It's a very philosophical film, and I think that turned a lot of people off from Prometheus, because when they came to see it, they wanted a sci-fi monster movie, because that's really what the Alien franchise is. You always have at least one of these black, gooey, slimy aliens chasing you around with acid blood, trying to kill you, and they're a very, very small part of the film. Really, there's only one, again, spoilers, at the very end of the film, and it's not even really one of the aliens we're used to seeing. However, this film does tie in Weyland Corporation. You have one of the Weyland founding members, and he's very old. Funding this deep space mission essentially to try to answer the question of where we come from, who created us, how to live longer, because he's very old. You also have your classic AI synthetic, android on the ship, who's played by Michael Fassbender, and he is just so terrific playing David, so creepy. You never really know, is he gonna help, is he gonna hurt? He asks all these philosophical questions to the different people on the ship. You also have these two young explorers, married couple, and they're trying to answer this question. They want to prove to the world that these aliens came down and created us. And so this deep space mission gets funded, right? And you got all these famous actors and actresses in it. Most notably, Idris Elba is the captain of the ship. You got Charlize Theron, and she's the daughter of Mr. Weyland and kind of running things since he's so old. And then you got Michael Fassbender, the creepy android, right? And so you get this terrific cast, you get all this great acting, but it's not a very scary movie. Now, as far as the deep space, the one area I think this film does a fairly good job of kind of creating a creepy atmosphere, even though it's not really a scary movie, is the space. They do such a great job visually filming, and then when they get down to the alien planet, visually filming, that you just feel overwhelmed. This massive universe, this massive planet, you have no idea what to expect, because we don't belong there. It's areas that people have not conquered, and this movie is a prequel before deep space travel is common amongst humans and with Earth. And so these people are really fish out of water. No one's been this far in space, and they're the first ones ever to kind of conquer that voyage. And it kind of has similar themes to like Christopher Columbus, sailing across the ocean when some people thought the world was flat and you might just fall off. And those people on that ship, they had no idea what they were getting into. They reached this point of they couldn't even turn around because they didn't have enough food to sail back. I mean, this film has that kind of feel to it, and I really love that element of conquering the unknown. Then I love the character Christina Shaw, because she has this cross on her necklace. There's a scene where you get to see some of her dreams with her father, and he was a Christian in the film. and you get to see some of her father and some dream sequences, and you find out he was a Christian, and they have this whole conversation of he is Christian because he chooses to believe that. She asks him, why do you believe this? And he's having this conversation with her about death and where you go after. And as everything unfolds, they find out that humans were actually created by these aliens. They came down hundreds of thousands of years ago roughly, and they drank some stuff, fell in, their DNA helped animals evolve into us, right? And that goes against Christianity. And Miss Shaw's beliefs are getting challenged in this film, and as they go on, her partner dies. You got the creepy AI robot that she doesn't trust. They meet these aliens and they want to destroy us when they wake up. I mean, it's just horrible. And so you get through it all, and at the end of the movie, this android David, who doesn't really understand what it is to be human, sees her like put her cross back on, and he asks her, why are you doing that? Didn't everything that you just saw make you not believe in God, make you not believe in your faith? And she says, I choose to. And I think that's really powerful. And for somebody that's Christian, I really love this aspect of the film because choice is a big part of worshiping God, of being religious, of going to church, all that stuff. And the beauty of it is God does give us free will. And even if we had all the information in front of us to prove the existence of God, heaven, had everything mapped out, we're like, this is the way everything's going to be, God still would give you that choice to not follow him. And so in this movie, I always find it so beautiful that she gets so much conflicting information that challenges some of the things in the Bible, challenges the belief she grew up with. And she says, no, I still believe. And she keeps on going. And, I think it's an underrated part of this film a lot of people don't talk about or appreciate. And I understand if you're not religious, you're not a Christian, how that doesn't really click with you, but for me, I really like that. And the final theme in this film, and you really explore this through Mr. Whalen, but it's that fear of death and what comes next. And that does tie into kind of the religious theme of this film. But, Mr. Whalen spends all this money to fund this space program. He should be dead when they arrive, but he freezes himself. And it's all because he's scared to die. He wants to know what happens next. And he wants to know if there's any way for him to get eternal life. And that's why he's trying to meet these, creators, the people that they believe created the human race. And, he's so scared, he's willing to spend billions of dollars to stop his own death. And he's so scared, he's willing to spend billions of dollars, put people's lives in danger, and even his own daughter's life in danger, because he's that scared to die, and he's scared of what comes next, and he needs to have these questions answered, before he passes on. And as rich as he is, as creative as he is, he's built so much technology in his lifetime. The one thing he can't control is his death. There's no amount of money in the world that can stop it, and his only hope is one of two things, really. It's either these aliens can somehow stop him dying, or there is some kind of afterlife. And he's just clinging to anything to know that something other than death awaits him, and it's just not that he dies and that's it. And I think it's something that everybody can kind of relate to, because if you're not religious, death scares you, especially when you get towards the end. If you are religious, still scares you because there's something coming next and you hope it's a good something. And death is the only thing that everybody has in common. It's really the only thing I think humans can all agree on is gonna happen at some point in our lives. And it's such a really philosophical and beautiful way to explore it through this space mission and this man, and even all the chaos that goes on in it. It all comes together, in my opinion, very nicely. All right, so I know that was a little different kind of spin on a film series, but we really haven't covered one quite like Prometheus. And as I get in the rankings here, I get it. I know some people this isn't for them, but I know a lot of other people are kind of like me and really enjoyed this film, even if they saw something different than I did. They liked it. So my overall ranking is a 4 out of 5. I mean, I do think this is a really well done film. You know, the pacing can be a little spotty at times, but visually stunning. I really like the characters in it. I think the acting's really good as a whole, especially Michael Fassbender. I mean, every time he's on screen, he just has my full attention. I'm like, what is this guy gonna do? You know, what is this android gonna do? You know, I think the music's pretty well done in the score. So, you know, I give it a 4 out of 5. Now, as far as the fun meter goes, you know, I gotta give it a 3.5 out of 5. This is not a edge of your seat kind of film where you're entertained in every single scene. It's more of a thought-provoking philosophical film. And while I think it is entertaining and I think it's got a lot of really great scenes in it, it also has some slow burn in it. And it's just not as fun as like a movie with a really thrilling monster and chase, even if those films sometimes still have a lot of thought-provoking questions. This one's really just not that much about the action or the monsters, and you know, that makes it a little less fun than some other films in this series. But overall, I think it's a terrific film, and it's a must-see for anyone that likes the Alien franchise. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Please leave a comment and a like, and you know, let me know what you thought of this film. I know this one, you could really like it or really hate it, and this is definitely not like a film that connects with everybody. And I can understand why, if you really wanted an alien film that had more of the monsters and the chase and the fighting going on. With that said, all I know is tomorrow I'm kind of happy I don't have to answer any super thought-provoking human creation questions.